Yo guys, what's up? It's Brent here, and today we're going to be learning how to use iReal Pro to make chord charts that I happen to use for most of the gigs that I do as a keyboard player. Why iReal Pro? Well, first of all, this is the app. I've kind of synced my iPad as well, so you'll be able to see how it looks, what I'm looking at here. And basically I just have all these different chord charts here, and it comes with some, and then you can also make your own, which is what we're going to be doing today. So the thing about chord charts is some people like to use them, some people don't like to use them. I personally wasn't a big fan of them for a while. I preferred memorizing stuff, but I think after a while I got to a point where I just needed to chart stuff out, and it also helps streamline the process, especially during rehearsals. I found that they're really effective in communicating what is happening at what point in a song. And I've sort of been doing this for a while now, so I've gotten accustomed to doing things a certain way where I kind of write down what I need to know and nothing beyond that, you know what I mean? Because chord charts are basically dependent on how complex you want it to be. Now some people like using scores, which are musical notation with everything, but I just prefer coming at it from a structure, chords, couple of notes here and there, and that's pretty much it. So let's dive into it. So what I'm going to do is, I figured the best way to do this and explain it to y'all is to just chart a song out in real time. And the song I've picked for today is from Ed Sheeran, his new album Equals. Well, at the time of this recording, it's a new album, and it's called Shivers. I'm sure some of y'all have heard it. If you haven't, please listen to it, or you listen to it now. It's a great song. And let's just go for it, I think. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new song, and I'm going to say Shivers. Now the composer is supposed to be the original songwriter, and it's supposed to be as per iReal's terms. But what I end up doing is, and this what works for me a lot better, is sometimes I'll do the same song with the different bands, and then each band will have slightly different arrangements to it. So what I'll actually do is I'll put the name of the band that I'm doing it with. That helps me remember which arrangement I'm doing. But for now, I'm just going to use Ed Sheeran. So I'm going to type Ed Sheeran, and then you can I just put pop for now. You can put whatever style you want, and then the key is important, so I'll just play it a little bit. Ooh, that's loud. Okay, so it's pam pam pam. Okay, so it's in B minor. Right? So I'm gonna change this to B minor. Okay, and for template, what I like to do is so the first two are the more jazzy versions. So the first two are AABA, which is a very typical jazz arrangement, ABAC as well, and then they have these two templates here called 48 measures and 96 measures, and I like to use the 96 measure one because I feel like I can fit more information in one page. And if I have to stretch out a bar to explain certain things, then I can always take out bar lines versus adding them constantly. So I prefer using the 96 measures template, so we're going to go with that. And this is what we're looking at now. So we have this blank canvas now with the name and the artist and the style. So, I just realized I made a typo. That's fine, I can correct it right here. And Ed Sheeran, boom, save. Beautiful. So now we have a blank canvas, and I'm going to start with the intro. I'm going to just listen to it once, and I'm going to count out how many bars that is before the first verse comes in. Yeah, so now to the heart. Right, so most pop songs will obviously be in the 8 bar, 16 bar, 4 bar structure, and this happens to be 8 bars depending on how you're counting it. I'm counting as 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4. If you're counting as 1 2 3 4, then obviously it's 4 bars. but I'm counting it the other way. So now I'm just gonna put the chords down. So it's very simple. You have your what is this even called, dude? I can't even remember. Your cursor, sorry, man. So you have a cursor, and you can sort of touch wherever you want it to go. You can also press next, and it'll go to the next slot. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go to the start. So you have different sections that you can use, and I'm gonna label this section intro. So I put IN. I also use IN for instrumental. So it kind of works as like intro, instrumental, interlude. Basically anything that doesn't have any vocals in it is kind of what I use IN for. Yeah, and I just enter the chords in. So I have B minor for 2 bars. So what you can do is people they might do this like 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4. So B minor for 2 bars. You can also do a repeat symbol. So instead of this, I'll just press the X there, and I can use this percentage sign, and that means the same thing essentially. Just basically means repeat whatever this bar is over here. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna go to the next one, G, and put the repeat bar again. Sorry, not D. It's D and A. Now, I've not listened to this. This is just basic ear training. This is a very simple 6-4-1-5, very typical pop chord progression. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play it a little bit.
I never kissed a mouth that tastes like yours. Strawberries and something more. Ooh yeah, I want it all. Lipstick on my guitar. Fill up the engine, we can drive real far. Go dancing on.
Okay, cool. So basically now we have the intro down. I'm gonna mark the end of the section before I go into the verse, right? So the way you do that is you just go here, and the moment you go here, you'll notice that this bar line is here, and you can tap it to change what the ending bar line is. So for a section end is this one, the double line. So I'm gonna change that there, and I'm gonna introduce my A section here. So I'm gonna put another double bar line and put A. So now we have the start of our verse, and I'm gonna enter the chords in here, which are pretty much the exact same thing. So I could go ahead and I could enter the whole thing again, which I'm not gonna do because that's just a waste of time. So instead I'm gonna actually click here, press and hold, and now I have this selection area, and I just drag the end to where I want to repeat. So I'm gonna drag this part, and I'm gonna copy. Then I'm gonna go here and drag it along the same amount and press paste, and boom. So now I have that done, and I can do it again as well. So let's see, let's do B minor. The reason I'm not copying this part here is because it's also going to copy. I'll show you. So if I copy this little section that I just did, a little finicky sometimes, but it basically, you can see it kind of adds this other stuff in which I don't necessarily want, and it's just faster to type in the word B minor or the chord B minor and keep going. So I'll just go ahead, do that. Okay, boom. So now I have the verse.
Let the engine, we can drive real far. Go dancing underneath the stars. Ooh yeah, I want it all. Got me feeling like I wanna be that guy.
All right.
I wanna kiss your eyes. I wanna drink that smile. I wanna feel like like my soul's on fire. I wanna stay up all day and all night. Yeah, you got me singing like ooh, I love.
Okay, sick. So now we have the next section, which is the pre-chorus, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go B. In fact, here I could actually do this. I could copy this whole thing. I've done it already now, but I'll just demonstrate. So I can do that, and then I can just change A to B, and then I have the pre-chorus down as well. So you can see that it's like, especially for songs that are very repetitive, like most pop songs have the same thing running throughout. They may change it in the chorus, they may change it in the bridge a little bit, but for the most part, like anything that's repetitive, you can get a chart done really quickly. It doesn't take that long. It's just that right now I'm explaining stuff to you, but I'd probably be done with the chart in another 2 minutes if I wasn't. But yeah, let's continue on. One thing I want to note here is this is something I like to do just to be a little more specific. There's a little pause before it goes into the chorus if you listen carefully. So like, let's check that out.
Like my soul's on fire. I wanna stay up all day and all night. Yeah, you got me singing like ooh, I love it when you.
So I want to make sure that I'm not playing anything there. And the way I kind of put it down is I just do this. So I'll do A, and then I'll do this other symbol, which is over here, which is basically saying don't play a chord there, or no chord. That's what I call it, but I don't know what the official name is. And as you can see, it's kind of extending outwards. So what you can do is you can shrink it by pressing this little S over here. Boom. So now you have S, which is basically just smaller. So S is for small, N is for normal, and then blank is, it'll take whatever the previous thing was, which in this case the whole thing is normal right now. So I'm just going to keep it an S right now, and I'm going to move to the next section, which is the chorus, which I'm going to mark as the C section over here.
Oh baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. And when they say the party's over, then we'll bring it right back and we'll say
Alright, dope. So now if you just noticed, if I enter a chord in now, you can notice that it's all this small thing again, because it's kind of taking on whatever the previous thing was. Whereas if I just press it once and press it again, now everything is normal again. That's kind of how Arial works. So it's helpful in certain areas where you want to fit in a lot of information into one bar, but you may have a long chord, or you may have certain restrictions. But when you can shrink it down and you can fit it in, it's a lot better. Anyway, so moving on, we have this stuff here. I'm just going to copy this obviously, because we want to make our lives simpler. Now you may be wondering why I haven't used any repeat signs, right? Like for example, I could have done this and then said just repeat the chorus twice, but there's a very, very specific reason as to why I don't do that, and I'll explain that in a bit. Oh, sorry. Let me just finish this manually for now. Say the party's over, then we bring it right back into the dark. Okay.
I love it when you do it like that, and when you're closer, give me the shivers. Oh baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. And when they say the party's over, then we'll bring it right back into the car, on the backseat in the moonlit.
Alright, so now we're back to a verse, and this is why I prefer to not use repeat signs up until the second verse, because typically what happens, especially in pop songs, is that they use pretty much the same arrangement. They may use a half chorus, they may have an instrumental in between, but for the most part, like, the structure is very similar to the first verse. They may have a few changes in the verse, a few chords, it really depends on the song. But in this case, we're just gonna continue the arrangement. Now what I want to do here is I want to add a repeat sign here, and then add the next repeat all the way on top to the A section. So that means that we're basically repeating this whole thing again. Now if there are changes that come up, we will add them. If there are no changes, then we're in the clear.
Ooh, I can get enough. You know you could tear me apart.
So here,
Back together and take my heart. I never thought that I could love this hard. Ooh, I can get enough. On fire, I wanna stay up all day and all night. Yeah, you got me singing like, ooh, I love it when you do it like that. And when you're closer, give me the shivers. Oh baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. And when they say the party's over, then we'll bring it right back and we'll say.
alright, so there I heard like a pause. So I could basically put that there, but obviously the first time around doesn't do that. So what I can do instead is Arial has a very handy text feature, and you can use it for whatever purpose you want. So in this case, I'm going to use it to just say break, and as you can see, it's put it underneath that particular bar. So I have an idea. What I could also do is I could say break C2. Now what that means is only break in the second chorus and not in the first chorus. So there are ways you can kind of work around and add notes into the Arial chart that make it a little more clearer in terms of what you're doing in the arrangement as the song flows. Yeah.
I love it when you do it like that. And when you're closer, give me the shivers. Oh baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. And when they say the party's over, then we'll bring it right back.
Alright, sick. So if you were looking at what I was doing, basically I just I copy pasted this part here, added here because it's the same progression. But what I've done is now I have labeled this one the D section, which is the bridge. And basically this point onwards I can use repeat signs because I know that I've already done one big repeat, and now I just have a few more bars to go as far as arrangement goes. And if you look at the timestamp also, right now I'm looking at my screen on Spotify, it says like it's got about 27 seconds left. So I'm good. I can start using repeat signs here. And what I can also do is I can put like a little arrow here to create some space between, so it's easier for people to visualize and see, okay, you go from here all the way to here and then you come back here because there's a gap here. It's just a little helpful visual cue as well. So we finished the bridge and now we're going to the next chorus. Now this chorus, I'm going to copy paste this part here real quick. I'll just get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this text. You will see, you notice it's not here. I have to click this little icon and there it is. And I'm going to press the X there, save that real quick. Change this for now. Do I need to change it? I'll just change it for now. So the main thing I'm trying to get at here is on this chorus, this B minor, there's no chord that's happening. It's like a break of sorts. So what I can do instead is cancel this out and just put NC in both these slots here. And that'll tell me that after this bridge, when I go to the chorus again, because it's marked C, I don't play for those 2 bars.
You make me shiver. Yeah, you got me singing like, ooh, I love it when you do it like that. When you're closer, give me
And now I'm back.
shivers. Oh, baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. When they say the party's over, then we'll bring it right back. Oh, no, say, ooh, I love it when you do it like that. When you're closer, give me the shivers. Oh, baby, you wanna dance till the sunlight cracks. When they say the party's over, then we'll bring it right back.
Awesome. And then here I'm just going to do the same thing. Bring it right back. And don't play the last bit. I'm going to shrink that again. And finally, we're going to change this double line to a fin or the ending. And there you go. That's your chart done pretty much. So I just done. Full screen that. And this is the finished chart. This is how it looks. Very clear, very easy to understand. And that took us what? Like hardly any time to do. Like I said before, if I wasn't explaining stuff, this can get done really, really quickly. And the more you do it, you know, the better you get at it, and the more naturally it comes to you. You know what I mean? Depending on different situations, you can always, you know, add little tweaks here and there to your chart. Sometimes at rehearsal, what may happen is, say for example, we're doing this song, and for some reason the guitar player just wants to take over the first verse, you know, and then I just come in the pre-chorus, right? Say for example that's the case. Well, then I just go to the pre-chorus. This is at rehearsal. I have the chart in front of me. I go here, go to pre-chorus, and I'll just say piano in or keys in or something like that. Just a cue for me to understand. And that's all I need when I'm playing live. Just see that little thing saying, okay, fine, you're chilling up until the pre-chorus. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the basic idea. If you guys have any questions at all with regards to this, please do not hesitate to leave a comment below. I will be sure to answer all of them. And I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you liked it, do leave a like down, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on bell notifications, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.